What's goody, everybody? Today's topic, perception versus reality. A topic based on picking the right lens to view, because if you get distracted by the outside, you lose sight of the truth depicted for you. Today's three focuses is them, you, and what's true. So now that we're live, let's dive. Point number one, the angles of perception. Perception can affect all five of your senses, give off all different kinds of illusions, but we have to stand firm in order to find the right conclusion. It's really just about navigating the madness. Leonardo DiCaprio, world-renowned actor who starred in the movie called Inception, which is all about this topic. He's known for being cool, trendy, and one of the most recognizable actors of all time. But regardless of how the world views him, he could care less what's on their mind. He says, "I'm not the kind of person who tries to be cool or trendy. I'm definitely an individual." And that statement's kind of ironic, yet refreshing, because even though the world views him as those two things, he could care less. He never deviated from himself in order to be his best. Now there's three angles to perception, and the first is the media of old, the news. The original goal was to give the unbiased truth to both me and you, but that's no longer true. Now they're just pushing whatever gets more views. Just think about it. We got Fox and CNN sharing one-sided stories even if they have both sides. Their goal is shifted from honesty to fallacy because they think money's only generated through creating a divide, pitting one side against the other, even if they know what's best. Now they just publish a bunch of fake stories, thinly laced with truths, and then just saying, what's next? Now the second angle is the media of new, social media, because the original goal was to converse with friends and share life stories. But now if you don't post a fancy flick or trip, you're dubbed as boring. It's all about comparison. Let me see how your life compares to mine. Putting value into perception turns it into a shrine. Now we're seeking validation, filtering all of our posts, constantly clamoring for their approval. We slowly lose sight of what matters most. And the final angle is community of people, because the goal of one another is to uplift. But now it's the opposite. If they think we're becoming greater than them, they'll try and knock us off a cliff. When we start losing sight of our own journey, we start measuring our success. Constantly comparing to others, we slowly become depressed. Now, all three of these started out honestly, but have slowly turned to something misleading. So in point number two, we're creating our roadmap to the truth so we can start succeeding. Point number two, separating reality. The outsiders attack from left, right, front, and back. So we need to identify and be confident on our eternal map. Starts with knowing you. Russell Westbrook, NBA superstar and triple-double king. Off the court, he's known by those close to him as being very wholesome, but the only clips that go viral are his media interactions and his memes. Now don't get me wrong, you could argue he does it to himself, but the narrative is always villainous because that's what sells. But regardless of what they try to do or what they say, Russell Westbrook says, "Never let anyone define your worth or determine your destiny." It never mattered what they thought. He was always going to be himself and the best he could be. So the first key is words. While this person listens to the masses, this person focuses on their inner circle. So worried about designer brands, music, and trends, wanting to be like everyone else, this person's always willing to bend. The public perception sways them so fast off their path of individuality. Meanwhile, this person could care less. They're not differing from their personality, regardless of what everyone else is saying. They focus on their inner circle. That way they're never decaying. So the second key is actions. While this person acts based on others, this person makes their own decisions. After all, if no one else is doing it, why are you? So concerned about the things that we buy, eat, and the clothes we wear. If they notice us doing something different, they'll shoot us a glare. Wanting to avoid that action, these people will start acting accordingly based on their logic. Meanwhile, this person can care less. They know that's mentally toxic. They'll decide what they like, dislike, and they'll research their views. They hone in on themselves. That way they know what to pursue. Plus, they know that this isn't about you. This is about me. So I'm going to do what's best. I could care less if we disagree. So the final key is reactions, Because while this person will stop based on others, this person determines their response. And this is all about going against the grain. Because at this point, the masses are telling you to fall in line. They'll start saying things like, that's not normal, that's not cool, or that's just plain weird. Wanting to stop hearing those things, this person will stop out of fear. Meanwhile, this person just says, you know, the door's right there, you can get out of here. That's because they understand that their headspace is their house and their domain. Others have the right to say what they want, but I get to determine what I do on my terrain. Now that we separated perception from reality, in point number 3, we go over how to harness our locality. Point number 3, hone in on you. Our map has led us to the truth that we seek. So now we go over how to cherish our individuality so that we stay unique. It's all about following our compass. Gabby Thomas, U.S. sprinter from Atlanta, Georgia, won her first gold medal these past Olympics, but in addition to being an athlete, she has 2 medical degrees from Harvard. She's already broken so many barriers and dreams so early into her life, but even she thought about quitting once upon a time. She says, I told my agents, I'm out and I'm done. I'm done running professionally. Now, she could have bought into those doubts, but instead she relied on our inner circle and manifested into what we see now. The first step is establishing confidence in you. Find the positives in the highs and the lows. When you excel, you celebrate it. But when you fail, identify what you did well. Use that positive that you took away as your motivation to propel. And when it comes to validation, find it in you. Ignore their opinions. Research what your idols do and what separates them from the sheep in your view, because that's what you should pursue. The second step is overcoming the first roadblock of the news. This applies to both the old and the new. Filter out what's irrelevant and only follow what suits you. Unfollow all the haters and the doubters, and instead choose the friends and creators that are positive and make you feel empowered. And when a big story breaks, don't react. Let's fact check. Because it's time we stop buying into their narrative and actually reassess. The final step is overcoming the last roadblock of people, and this applies to both family and friends. Now, regardless of the title or blood, you determine if the relationship lasts or ends. These people are supposed to be your pillars of trust, the people you can confide in. So don't cast your net out too wide or else you'll reel in some vermin. These people are supposed to build you up, not tear you down. So be conscious and be cautious of the people you have around. So in conclusion, perception is deceptive, but reality is the truth that we seek. So always be aware of your intake so that you stay yourself and unique. Be smart, be confident, be courageous, and take notice, because these are just voices. You're what's chosen. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more, please feel free to check out the channel and subscribe, because there's more in store. From one witness to another, you are special. Hook out.